Ah, yes, summer in Ontario. Endless mosquitoes, sweltering heat and humidity, insufferable cottage country traffic, and construction on every single road. But in the end, what do we pay taxes for, right? And there is some light at the end of the tunnel as work on our new interchange is over half complete. Traffic has been diverted to the eastbound lanes now as work moves to the westbound lanes. The relief, however, is short-lived as the Premier announces a multi-million-dollar interchange improvement project. The project will see the existing Highway 15, Highway 20 interchange streamlined. The aging interchange is already approaching the quarter-century mark, and not only is it starting to show its wear, but we can take this opportunity to streamline the efficiency and bring the overall maintenance costs down going forward. It will also allow us to have plenty more options and space for future interchanges to allow for greater highway access. And this could be a long one today, so let's dive right in. Hello everyone and welcome back to the town of Rockfield in Pinecone County. I am Amateur Andy and today we're going to build an interchange the amateur way. What could possibly go wrong? But in all seriousness, I'm confident to the point that I can manage this interchange, and this is perfect because I really do need to practice some road building techniques anyways, and just generally test my knowledge gained in the game so far. And what better opportunity to use the tools at our disposal instead of you watching me struggle to build some basic roads and railways. So we're going to be using the Network Multitool mod a lot today, and hopefully to its fullest potential. If not, pretty close to it anyways. Now, the more I look at this interchange after almost 30 episodes, as opposed to when I first started the map, I can see some redundancies in it. Plus, I really want to clean it up, and then we'll be able to see which areas around the interchange we can use for development after the new footprint is in place. So step one will be to just go ahead and bulldoze everything here so we have a blank slate. And I do have somewhat of an idea in mind of what I want the end result to look like. However, the reality is that it'll probably change, so let's get bulldozing. Okay, so now that we have a blank slate, the plan is to connect Highway 15 here, and we'll leave it at ground level. And then we'll connect Highway 20 across here, and Highway 20 will come over top of Highway 15. So at some point we may need to dip Highway 15 just a little bit in the middle, depending on what our ramps are like in the end. So let's get Highway 15 connected first. Good. So let's get Highway 20 connected up. And for this one here, what I might do is actually just bulldoze this back just a little bit, and maybe to about here, and that way I can straighten the highway out just a little bit. So we will fix that. I know it looks like crap, but we will fix it. But now it's a good time to use our Network Multitool, and we're probably going to end up backing these up just a little bit, but let's try it anyways. And actually, there is a setting that I did find how this keeps going away all the time. If we go into Options, Network Multitool, Auto Hide Panels. So I'm going to turn that off. And now this is going to stay open all the time. So this is just personal preference, but it's going to be easier for me. I'm going to like it better this way. So we're going to take this one, and look at that. Then we're going to do the same thing here. And not only are those roads perfect, I couldn't have made them any better myself, but they're parallel with each other as well. So this corner here is a little bit abrupt. I might change that later. But I also know that if I start farting around with it too much, I have the greatest potential to make it significantly worse. So let's just make sure all these arrows are going the right way, and they are. And there is an underground section of road here that I did not bulldoze. Good. So what I can do now is with our Network Multitool, I can use our set slope mode, and I can grab this node, and then all of these nodes along here, depending on how far back we want to go. So let's go here, and perfect. And now we can go here, grab all these nodes, and do the same thing. And that looks a ton better for sure. So these nodes here could do with a little bit cleaning up. We will get to that. That will not be a problem. And I don't like that there's a few extra nodes here. So I'm going to remove this node, and I'm going to remove this node here, and that's going to help level it out. What I am going to do is add a node right here and right here. And the only thing that's going to do is absolutely nothing. So perfect. So we're going to go ahead and remove those nodes again, and we'll do it another way. All I was looking for was a pillar underneath the bridge there to hold it up, but we can put a pillar into place afterwards. That's not a problem. So let's go back to our set slope mode, make it on a nice angle, and then we'll do the same thing over here. That should be on a nice, now that looks a lot better. So I think that looks really good. I'm very happy with that. And then we'll just do the same thing here. For an amateur interchange, so far, not looking too bad at all. And that height is probably good there. These, I think I'm going to use the set slope mode on all of these nodes because they're a little bit not even all the way along. I can see some inconsistencies, and I don't want those inconsistencies. So we're back to here. That looks a million times better, and I'm super happy with that. So we're just going to do a standard clover leaf because that's pretty much all I know right now. And I'd rather keep it simple and not get too ahead of myself. So I am a little bit concerned about over here. We may have to lose our gardening club because if we have a ramp that goes here, then we're going to need a ramp that comes along here and goes there. So it's going to be a little tight. So let's use our network multi-tool and let's use our create loop mode and see what we can create.
This should be fun.
So this doesn't look horrible. We're definitely using the wrong road here, so I wonder if that has something to do with it. Square up that node. There we go. I think we can just move this maybe? Was it move it? Yeah, look at that. And then we just upgrade that to a 4-lane that comes down there and into there. So not horrible, not really what I envisioned. Big surprise. But let's go and square that up. Yeesh, really doesn't like that very much, does it? And there we go. Okay. So I still would much prefer if that was a bit of a bigger curve. Okay, so that doesn't look horrible, but we got to try a few different things. So I really want to try and make this one work. How do we make this create loop mode work? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So that actually doesn't look too bad. We do need to add a 4th lane there. So can we square this up? Look at that. We almost got it. Okay. Now that we know what we're doing, sort of, let's try it again. And let's get rid of this extra node here because it's massive. And let's try our loop mode. So that is a huge node. Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna have to add a node into there. There's an extra node there. So we have a node there and a node there. Let's just try it. So let's use our create loop mode. And let's come from here and go to there. And it still doesn't like that. Is it still too big? Yeah. So if we go there to there, then we come back on this side. There we go. Okay, so there's one done. I did struggle with it quite a bit at the end here. I'm not really sure why that particular part wasn't working properly, but it seems to be okay now. So I'm not upset with it. We can clean it up with the intersection marking tool, and I think we can make it look good. So let's see if we can create a loop here now. Okay, well, that's 3 hours of my life I'm not getting back now, and we're here, just a few steps away from square one. And I'm actually not really sure what I'm doing wrong here. For some reason, the radius of the ramps is so large, and I'm not sure how to make them any smaller. I'm 100% sure it's something I'm doing wrong, and the only thing I can think of right now is just to keep trying the same thing over and over again until it works. Or, let's try approaching this from a different angle. What I think we should try is, we'll add an exit nub, maybe around here, let's say. And then we'll add a little entrance nub here, make sure it faces the right way, and then let's try the curve tool now. Seriously? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's as easy as it is. That's all you got to do. Come at it from a different approach. So the first thing we can do is get that turned into a slope so it's not so dippy. There we go. So let's see if we can use this theory on our road from Highway 15 west to Highway 20 north. That looks really good. And I probably could, if I adjusted the on and off, wrong one, the on and off ramp nubs a little bit more, I probably could get this a little bit more curved here. And I might come back and do that, but I think for the purposes of this demonstration, we shall let sleeping dogs lie and see if we can duplicate some of the success onto this side of the highway now. That is looking really good. So it is, again, it's a little bit bigger than that one, but I think actually we probably could manipulate those nubs a little bit to try and get it a little bit more perfect. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure I'm going to get it much better than that. And again, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not 100% sure that I really care that much because it looks great. So let's try it on this one now. Let's see if we can stretch these nodes as far as we can. And that actually looks really good. I don't think I'm going to play with that at all. Good. So let's get this one sorted out.
I'm bad at this.
Okay, so back to square one here. Let's see if we can make our on ramps and off ramps just a little bit tighter. I honestly don't know how to make it any better than this. I don't know why they're all so different. Maybe we need to straighten our highway out. Let's try that. Okay, let's just do this for now and see if we can get any angles right here. And then we'll add in the rest of the highways after. So all right, so this is about as good as it's going to get. I don't really know how to make it any better than this. I've tried every which way. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I guess I'm just not that good, unfortunately, but this is the way our ramps are going to look, and it's just going to have to be like that, unfortunately. We will definitely come and level them out. We'll upgrade these. Space already occupied, of course, because there's an extra probably node in there. Yeah, of course there is. Next, let's quickly finish up our Highway 20 connections here. Then we can add our slip ramps. Now I need to fix this rail connection real quick, but first I need to fix the highway height. So let's take care of that real quick. And now I can use the slope terrain tool to make this section of the highway level. And now we can make our rail connection again. All right, let's put in our slip roads now. That was less painful than I thought it was going to be. Let's see if we can duplicate this process. And after all that, I'm still not completely happy with this, and I won't be until I get it right. So I just want to try one more thing before I call this a complete failure and we go back to school, never mind just the drawing board. So this isn't really ideal in my mind. These look more like carabiners rather than ramps, but they're mostly symmetrical, and I think actually it looks better than the rounded ramps that I had before. So I think I'm just going to roll with this design for now and see how it turns out when it's done. Maybe we'll just try and fix up these two corners here. I think they need to come back down this way a little bit more in order to make the ramps a little bit more rounded. So let's try that. And at the end of the day, it's not the worst interchange out there. I definitely think it's a huge improvement over the interchange that was there. definitely not how you guys would do it. I know that for sure. These ramps here kind of look like carabiners more than anything. But, you know, I don't know how to make it any better. That's the truth. But I'm not unhappy with it. I think we're going to leave it like that. We're going to call it here for today before I pull out the rest of my hair. And you guys don't want to watch this anymore, and I totally don't blame you. So look out for next week's episode where we're going to come in, add our 4th lanes, use our intersection marking tool, fix all these cliffs, and do a little bit more decorating throughout the town of Rockfield as well that we need to get caught up on. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your patience. If there's an easier way for me to do this, I invite your criticism. Please leave me a comment and let me know, or come and watch me on Twitch where we can have a chat together at any time in real time. And as always, thank you so much for making it all the way through until the end. I really do appreciate it a lot, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.